From the Ticats Audio Network, this is Morreale and Hitch.
Buongiorno, and welcome to the Morreale and Hitch podcast. And Mike Morreale, that's Rob Hitchcock. I don't know if you can see David Butko. He combed his hair with a pillow. I think we should take the man bun and, you know, like the Lucky Rabbit's foot?
Yeah.
Let's just maybe get some scissors and then put it on a necklace, and we can share it for fun.
If you were a rookie, you would have gotten that cut off for sure. Like,
Rob got all his hair cut off. Believe me, he was not happy. And it was worse than your hair. Way worse, if you can imagine.
It was good hair, and I grew it for a long time. It was not good.
It was bad.
Hey, it was part of the team. It's just a way for Don Southern to say, you made the team, kid. You had to get
Never mind these rookie hazing. You don't go complaining to your parents or the coach because, you know, we were joking with you.
How about in our day, we would all be in jail.
Jail.
Honestly, the stuff we did would be,
jail.
we would be definitely charged with something.
Yeah, but nothing bad, Rob. Let's not paint a bad picture here.
No,
but somebody would like maybe would get upset because we poured a bucket of Gatorade on them in the locker room. Yeah. And then they'd go and they'd have to file a report. And then that report would go up to somebody, and then they would be upset because we dumped colored water on someone. Yeah. This is what the world's come to, Butko.
Yeah.
What do you got in your cup there?
He's got a steamed cup of coffee.
Oh, mud water? You ever see mud water when you're looking at Instagram?
Yeah.
You ever see what is mud water?
I don't know.
That's dirt. Yeah. I think it's dirt.
It's dirt. Well, Mitzi, have you did you get a chance to watch any of those games starting Thursday with the Cats playing in Edmonton?
I did see some of them. I never saw the whole game, but I was thinking to myself, who is going to be the team that loses to Edmonton?
Oh,
because I don't want to be
now
that
that's
team.
it. Now that's the that you're going in there and not wanting to be that team.
Oh yeah,
yeah. But I'm telling you, they I don't know what. I haven't read anything on Schultz.
I know. So man,
did you hear anything more?
I haven't heard anything.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything either. I don't know if it was knee, Achilles. Like, I don't know what it was, but I tell you, the first play that Powell went in and he threw a corner route in the end zone, and I'm like, okay, like
that was his first professional pass, was it not, for a touchdown?
Yeah, for a touchdown, and it looked. I mean, they weren't. Edmonton wasn't on their heels and winning the game and playing in prevent. They were playing D to stop him, and he played well. So, just goes to show all the guys that do all the work to bring these guys in, and they're ready to play, right? So, Coach O's got these guys ready, but every single game this weekend, it was off the chart. It was the best weekend of football I've ever seen. Toronto was no joke. No joke. They are legit. What are they, 5-0? I don't know, 4-0, 5-0, whatever they are. They should be. They're contenders, like 100% now. They're not a joke. That Kelly kid is pretty good.
He's good. Like if he can keep his emotions in check, which he's done a great job. Like the kid can play. If you look at his history. Like he's always been a good player. He's always been a bit emotional, right? And got himself into problems here and there. But they're playing well. That comeback from Calgary,
Ottawa. How about the Ottawa? Crumb. Down 16 with 3.5 minutes to go. That's why we tell people from the U.S. whatever. I'm talking to some guys that don't know the CFL. Guys, I've seen 21 points score in 3 minutes.
Oh God, yeah.
16 points. They came down, beat Winnipeg. Can you imagine with Osh? 3 minutes to go. Oh, game's done. He would never say that. First of all, the game's never done with 3 minutes. But the players, I mean, sitting back there going, "Oh, we're up 16." Huh, not anymore.
Not anymore. Did you see the terror? But I'm not going to take anything away from the quarterback. Did it on the 2-point, or did it on to tie the game. But then the winner, he ran through the middle. There was arm tackles. There was guys that didn't even leave their feet.
No,
it was terrible.
The one big DB they have, Alexander, I think.
37. He did like a crocodile arm reach. I couldn't believe it.
I was like, okay, that's going to be on film. That'll be.
Yeah, you can't hide from that.
No, you can't. you got to be. That's the last play of the game, bud. He ran that 36 yards down the middle, for
right
a touchdown.
Down the middle.
And then Saskatchewan and Calgary, another one right down to the emotions down. Sask goes down and scores, and Calgary's got 20 seconds to go down to kick a field goal and wins it. So, anyway, it's great
good
week
games.
of football.
It was great to see. Because that's CFL football. It was great to see great CFL football. Anything can happen anytime. It was awesome. It was really good. It was a nice bright spot on the league, I think, especially with all the crap that's going on with this team losing, the attendance here. It was really fun.
Yeah, and I tell you that 2 weeks ago we were talking about the Cats. Oh my gosh, is what's going on? We always said, don't worry, it's an early season. Now they're second place.
Yeah,
they're tied. I think they're tied with Montreal, tied for second. I think they're 2-3, right? I think they're.
Yeah. I think that's what Ottawa's 2-3 too. They got 2 wins too, maybe 2-4.
Yeah. So, anyways, a lot of fun. But I tell you, Toronto, if they keep doing, Hamilton's got Toronto this week, if I'm not mistaken. I think they do. I don't know where it's played at, but if it's in Toronto, there'll be 6,400 Ticat fans and 1,600 Toronto fans.
Oh man, no, it was good. And you know who I saw? I was in Winnipeg last week. We had a basketball game there, and who did I get a chance to sit beside? My buddy Mike O'Shea and Kyle Walters.
You did, eh?
Stick and Osh. Of course, Osh came with literally a minute left in the game. A minute, because he's working. Stick was there the whole time. No problem. He was there from the very beginning.
He showed up.
He showed up.
Right?
He showed up.
That's good.
But it was good to see those guys. You just get caught up, and they're all asking about you, what you're doing. I said, I have no idea. No idea what Rob's doing. Nobody does. But whatever he's doing, it works, so we'll just let him keep doing what he's doing. Why break it? Why fix it if it's not broken?
Oh, exactly. Stick was texting me through the game. He's like, Cat's got to win this one. I'm like, yeah, they got to win it.
I know.
Oh, my gosh. I started... we didn't have a show last week.
I know.
Right? So, I don't know. You were in Nicaragua or something.
I don't know where I was.
I don't know.
Traveling.
You're busy.
Oh, you know where I was? I was in Vegas.
That's
Vegas.
Right.
Combo anniversary. Yeah. Combo NBA Summer League. So
I was kind of disappointed a little bit because
what? You didn't get
I
the
think
invite?
It might have been bad luck because I was with you at your 10th anniversary. Or was that
No,
my
I was
10th?
with you at your 10th anniversary.
So then I thought you were going to give me
This is my first 10th anniversary.
Yeah, that's
ever.
true. What am I thinking?
My first.
What am I thinking? You did come to my 10th. And that was 15 years ago.
15 years ago. And you wanted to take your wife out to a nice, beautiful dinner.
Yeah.
And you had that, I can't remember the name of the restaurant. It was one of the Wolfgang Pucks or one of those Jose Andreas or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And she's like, no, I don't want to spend the money.
No, I don't want to spend the money. I said, it's our 10th anniversary. No money.
That's right. You and I had a good time.
TJ Pangs or whatever it's called.
PFJs. Perfect.
Yeah.
Get some lettuce wraps and a nice tea.
But we did go for a good little dinner. We found a little thing in.
There's always find something.
But her problem was that she didn't like eating at 10:30 at night.
Oh yeah.
Remember? I said that's how
she was asleep at 8.
At 8, yeah. So you'd have to go to. We went 8 at 10, and then I'll never forget. I don't think we've ever talked. I think we talked about it. We get to our rooms, and me and you were chomping at the bit. It's 12 o'clock. This is when you start going out.
Ready to go out.
I'm tossing, turning in bed. She goes, "What are you doing?" I said, Mike just texted me. I think he's going to go down and do some gambling. I think I'm going to go with him. Okay, go ahead. Got back at 4:30. Remember, we stayed at the hotel. What do you guys do?
What else? We did your anniversary. We had to celebrate.
Yeah, we did slot machines. We did everything. We played some blackjack.
We had a good time.
That was a lot of fun. But you had fun?
I had fun. I had hot as anything. It was like 107 every day. But you know what? The cool part is they're getting ready for the Indy, the Vegas Indy there.
Oh.
So they're repaving all of Las Vegas Boulevard, and they're just getting ready to set up like all the grandstands. It's going to be incredible. And I wanted to go, and I just realized it's the same weekend as Grey Cup. Oh. So if Grey Cup was in somewhere else, then I likely would have went to go see the Indy. I would love to see what it's like. But the Grey Cup,
they're setting that up now.
They're setting it up now for November, repaving the roads, doing all this stuff.
Wow, Vegas will
so
do it, right?
It's everything they do in Vegas is like times 100, right?
Yeah.
But it's a Grey Cup weekend. I do not want to miss it.
Where'd you stay?
Stay at the Bellagio.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Usually I stay at the Cosmo. I've stayed everywhere, but I usually stay at the Cosmo. But I thought, you know what? I'm more sophisticated now. Yeah. I'm older, over 50. Maybe I'll stay at the Bellagio, away from all the young
with the
teens.
little chocolate thing coming down.
The chocolate fountain.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got the nice little horticulture. They got the flowers, all that stuff.
It's all good stuff. Did you rent anything by pool?
When to go rent? So I don't know if people know, but in Vegas, when you want to go to a pool, generally you got to reserve seats, right?
Yeah.
And so I thought, okay, I'll reserve some seats at the Bellagio pool one day, just one day, because literally it was 107 degrees. So it was like $820 for 4 chairs. And usually what happens is you get back chairs, but usually you get back that in a food credit or booze credit, where it's not like, okay, well, we'll have lunch, we'll have some drinks. You'll eat that up. No problem. No, they wanted to ding me for the chairs, and then you had to pay for food and booze. I'm like, no. That's not to sit in a chair. Forget it.
That's okay. Hey, I just thought of this. You were there last weekend, right?
Yeah.
How long were you there for?
I was there Thursday to Monday.
Because Bill was down there.
Really?
Yeah, he was down there with his family. I think he was at Mandalay Bay.
Thanks for the hookup.
But I forgot that you were there. What's up, Bucko?
Oh, yep. Bucko's here.
Our guest is here as well.
Oh, really?
Beautiful.
Yes.
Okay, so Rob and I know who the guest is. We're going to bring the guest on in a minute. This is a special guest because this particular guest has been, if there's anybody who's the man of the CFL, it may be this particular gentleman, who I'm pretty sure has worn every jersey.
He has.
If not every jersey but one. But we're going to find out now. Butko, would you please kindly introduce our guest? Or just put him on the camera so we can introduce him? Look at this guy. Wow. Hello, KG. What's up, buddy? What's going on?
Hey, how y'all doing?
I still got hair.
I still got hair. I don't.
That's right. You're looking good, man. You're looking good.
Always smooth. Always smooth.
I'm trying to be. Just trying to be.
Well, it's great to see you, KG. I know you are at work right now, and let's just jump right into it. You now are the head coach at, is it Liggett University?
It's University Liggett High School. And that's where some people get it confused because of the university, and they think, he's coaching in college. The thing is that back in the day, so there was a University Detroit school, all boys, and a Liggett school in Grosse Pointe that was all girls, and they merged. I can't remember exactly what year they merged, but they merged together, and that's why it became University Liggett High School.
Awesome. Very cool. And you are a longtime Detroit-born, Detroit-living, Detroit-working, and now coaching kind of guy, right? So give us, if you can give us a bit. First of all, I just want the fans to know we're talking to Kevin Glenn. How many years did you? This is the research that we do.
18. The favorite number that Morreale wore.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. 18. See, I know. I got my stuff.
18 years.
And every jersey.
Every single jersey.
Every single jersey. Now, the kicker is, and that's what people, there's 2 teams that, and that could be some trivia. There's 2 teams that I was on the roster, but never really got to suit up because I was actually then traded off the roster. Before
who are those? Started. Now, who are those? Was Ottawa one of them?
Ottawa was one of them.
BC?
And Toronto was the other.
Oh, interesting. A little bit of trivia.
Yeah.
18 years, man. Yeah. And obviously, we had the great fortune of playing against you. We never had a chance to play with you, but we've been in boardrooms together. We've been in bars together. We've been on fields together. We'll save you some of those stories. Yeah. But, man, it's great to see you. So now head coach back in Detroit, back where you grew up. Give us a sense of what's going on there and your love for that city and your love for football.
Well, my biggest thing is just being from the city, being from this area. My high school right now doesn't exist anymore. So I went to a Catholic high school here, and back in, I want to say 06, 05 was the last year. 06, they kind of closed the school just because of funding and all that kind of stuff. But I made it a point that once I retired, I wanted to try to get back into the schooling system. And then also coach. The biggest thing for me was because I played so many years in Canada and away from the family, I kind of wanted to try to stay close to the family and still be able to, explore my passion of coaching. So that's when the high school thing came about. I started with my high school coach over at Oak Park for a year. Then from there, I went 3 years at Catholic Central. It's probably the biggest Catholic high school in the state. And then from there, got the opportunity to become a head coach here at the University of Liggett.
That's very cool. And you're a lifer. I mean, when did you start playing football? Like growing up in Detroit?
I was 9 years old when I first started playing football. So, and that's the funny part is that I only played quarterback in youth 1 year.
Really?
I was never really a quarterback in youth. I was a skill position.
Interesting.
Exactly.
Every other position except quarterback.
But you remember at that age, well, I started off at tight end, then I moved to a skill position. But you remember at that age, everybody was the same size. So everybody, if you were the same size, your running back was the same size as your center, at the end of the day. So I don't know whatever. I think the idea of having the ball in your hands every play is kind of what put me in the mindset to explore quarterbacking when I got to high school.
Yeah,
that's amazing.
That's how we got out too. And I mean, I started when I was 11, right?
Oh,
11,
wow, okay.
And never saw the field because I was tiny. So they shoved me out in the wide side corner, and they just said, "Just stay back there." And I never hit anybody, never touched anybody for the first year. Never played again until grade 9. And
so you never hit anybody.
Never hit anybody.
He saved it all.
He saved it all. Look at this. Even freshman high school, grade 9, up here, I was too small. I was on the roster, never played. Grade 10, same thing. My brother's like a couple years older than me. He's like, you should quit. Coaches are saying you should quit. I'm like, no, I like this team. I like to be part of a group. So anyways, grade 11. I think grade 10 meets. So you remember this? I was 5'3". I think 125 pounds in grade 10, which is like sophomore. And then grade 11, 3 years later.
Then he found the sauce and a little HGH, and then the rest is history.
No. I grew, and 3 years later,
he waited to university.
Yeah, I mean, 3 years later, I had a full ride into the States. So it was good. It was a different path, but it was. Then I started hitting people, right, in high school.
Exactly. So now you started to figure the game out. Yeah, I need to hit these guys.
Yes.
No, similar. I had no plans of playing high school football when I went into high school, and I was a baseball kid at the time, and that was my love, and so I had no idea, no plans on playing, and I got kind of convinced by the AD and my father, and look at what happened.
Amazing. The stories again. I didn't start till grade 10. I played soccer growing up. I didn't think of playing football, but Paul, my cousin Masadi, was playing, so that kind of piqued my interest. And it's amazing. And you had your brother, and you probably had family or your dad or somebody. Yep. There's always that kind of hook that gets you in, and the rest is history. But you've had a big history in the CFL. A proud one, an accomplished one. It's hard to Rob. Probably a question for you. What was it like playing against KG? Because he always had his one or two go-to guys, and he could rip it down the field.
Oh yeah.
And you were on the other end trying to stop him.
Yeah, he would always look me off. Because I'm sure the receivers told him, "Don't throw it up the seam because I'm going to get hit." So
exactly,
but it was. We had some. I had some picks from him, but he definitely beat me a lot of the times. And playing against him, just a smart quarterback, and looking to the left, and I start veering to the left, and then boom, throws a seam back the right side. And I remember it because you had some hell of good receivers you were throwing to back in the day. It was I always call it a safety and a quarterback. Like I was a quarterback of the defense, and I'm always like, let's try to bait you to one way and then see if you're going to throw it that way, and I'd take off the other way. But it was always a constant. I mean, we had some great defensive coaches as well and game plan against you. And it was just a lot of fun because when we came in the league, like I tell some guys now, when I came in '95, there was the Dunnigans, the Tracy Hams, Fluties, Damon Allen, McManus. Like I'm playing against. I'm a rookie playing against Hall of Fame quarterbacks, and then you guys come in and you're just you don't miss a beat, right? Because you learn off of these guys, and it was fun for me to play. 12 years. And meets the same. He'll say the same thing, but we missed each other. You came into Hamilton in 09, I think. Yeah, I think your 09 was your first season, right? And that's and we were already done for 2 years then. But it was it would have been fun. I always look back and say, shit, if we just played 2 more years, we could have played with them instead of trying to hit you and try to pick you off. But it was a lot of fun. You're a hell of a quarterback, and I think I did some research yesterday. About 30 seconds of research. I just looked you up quickly. You're sixth all time. You're just behind McManus. Right? 53,000 yards. Yeah, right. Yep. 52.87 something rather. That's real special.
It's a funny story about that one too. How the connection as far as with McManus too. But thanks for all the the nice words. It was the same, playing against Hitch. I mean, it was like you said, my receivers would come back to the huddle and say, "Don't you lead me too far inside and let that guy hit me." So I had threats from receivers on making sure that I did not put them in a position to get hit by Hitchcock. So, but it's funny that you bring that up with the 6. And so Danny McManus is right in front of me. When I first came into the league, there was guys that I wanted to emulate my game after, and watching things that they did, from the sideline. And Damon Allen was one, and McManus was another. And how fast McManus would get rid of the ball, it was amazing. And it was kind of like, man, like he's throwing it before those guys are even cutting, but it's still on time to where it's not hitting them upside the head, but the receivers know it's coming and they're turning their head fast and then they're catching it and getting up the seam and all that kind of stuff. So I paid attention to a lot of that. Yeah. Well, fast forward after I retired, and I haven't officially retired with the team, but McManus reached out. I think when, Winnipeg was going through some stuff as far as quarterback, the guys was getting hurt, and he reached out and he said he was the only guy that almost made me get up off the couch.
Really?
And come back to the CFL. And his words were, hey, you only need like 200 and something yards to pass me all time. So why don't you just come on and do it?
No way.
So it was a pretty good conversation. I never did it because at that point I was kind of content, with what I was doing. Yeah. But he almost to this day, he was the one that almost got KG up off the couch to say, I'm going to come back.
That just goes to show. That goes to show.
I will say this. Yeah. I will say this. Danny, in my opinion, and again, I was fortunate. I played with Ken Austin, Damon Allen, Anthony Calvillo, Danny McManus, Doug Flutie. I mean,
he played with a lot of good
legends, right? So, I look back at my career and say thank you to them, number one. But it's funny you say that because I'm not going to say you look like Danny or are shaped like Danny, but you certainly had that quick release, right? Yes, and that as a receiver, like we learned quickly, get your head around because that ball is coming, right? And and the minute you knew that, but you had a very similar kind of approach to the game. That ball was out of your hands quick.
Yeah. We most definitely. I think that was one thing that when I first got up to the league, Roy Shivers told me. He was like, man, I watch film on you and you anticipate. And that's a lot of times you can't coach that. You can't coach a guy to anticipate when things are going to happen. And I think that's what helped me, not being the prototypical, 6'4" to be able to see over offensive linemen that were 6'4". I was looking through windows, and the windows, you got to be able to anticipate, and knowing that your receiver is going to get to that window when you actually deliver the ball. So that's what helped me out.
That's awesome. So just going back to what you said earlier, you haven't retired officially from a team yet, right?
No, I haven't.
So is there any thought, like your last year was what, 2018 or 17, I think was your last year?
Last year was 2018. Yep,
so
that was the last playing year.
Are you thinking about, not that you have to say anything now, but are you thinking about who you played the longest with, who you had the most success with, or are you just saying like,
a lot of those factors play into it. Some people will try to say, who you came into the league with, that's who you should retire as, but then you throw into, the time that you spent with other organizations and the success that you had, and I mean all that kind of stuff plays a part in it. It's come down to like two or three places, and then I'm probably going to decide, and it's going to probably happen next year after kind of talk to the organizations and see.
I think I know two of them. Winnipeg and Saskatchewan got to be two of those on the list. Maybe.
You would think. You would think.
Saskatchewan would really love you there. You know that. I'm not taking anything away from O'Shea and Sticks and Kyle Walters, but anyways, you make that decision. That's going to be you.
You got Winnipeg, you got Sash, you got Hamilton to a lesser degree, but I'm going in a different direction.
Yeah,
that are all now playing in brand new stadiums. But and I can't remember if you caught the front end of the new stadium in Hamilton. I cannot remember if you did. I don't think you did, or did you get the first year or two?
So no, I didn't. I didn't get the first year in. I played in the Hamilton Stadium the first year, but I wasn't in Hamilton when they opened it up.
That's right.
Saskatchewan was the one. So I was the starting quarterback when we opened up the Saskatchewan. Yeah.
That's a hell of a stadium.
Yeah,
too.
so it's a little. I think I might have scored the first rushing touchdown.
Oh boy!
Wow, another one
in that actual regular season in that actual building, and it was against the Hamilton Tiger Cats.
Wow,
there you go.
It's a lot of trivia with me.
This is good. This is trivia with KG. You've been around long enough. This is what happens.
Right. Exactly.
So give me the journey to Hamilton, because most of our 11 people that listen to this are Hamiltonian fans. But give us the journey to Hamilton, coming to Hamilton. Obviously, you played here as a visitor, so you knew what you're getting into. But what was that experience like for you?
Oh, it was awesome. When it happened, it was kind of surreal. And I'll just go back. So I was in Winnipeg at the time. I just finished, I think, my 5th year in Winnipeg. We had lost to Edmonton in the playoffs. Everybody liked this story because that's when Mike Kelly Kelly got the job in Winnipeg. He was the head coach / GM. Yeah. And I think he came out very quickly and said, Kevin Glenn can't play in my offense.
Crazy.
Which was kind of weird because it kind of now put every organization in the league on notice that, hey, Kevin's probably going to get cut pretty soon. Well, what he didn't realize is being a newly GM, you don't make those kind of statements out because now that you can't trade me.
No. You have no power.
And no power. And so I think that's what kind of happened because he tried to trade me. There was no bite. And then at one point, I think Hamilton came. Bob O'Billovich was the GM at the time, and they came into the picture. They basically tried to do like a sign and trade. Talk to Hamilton, see if we can get something done. And I mean, Bob O'Billovich being a vet in this, he knew what he was doing. He put out a situation to where I think he knew that I wasn't going to take it. Right. To where it was like, okay, well, we don't have to give anything for Kevin. Yeah. We could turn around once they release him, and we could just sign him, and we can keep what we already have. So I think Bob was the vet in this one. He kind of got over on Kelly to where it didn't work with the sign and trade. A few weeks later, they released me, and then I ended up signing with Hamilton. And like I said, it was very surreal at that point because I was actually my son was being born that year, 2009, in March. He was like literally born March 12th. And I want to say maybe 2 days later, I was driving up to Hamilton for a press conference to say that I was signed in Hamilton. So a lot of good stuff, happened around that. So I had a very good time. And the initial arrival to Hamilton was great. I mean, from the acceptance from the players, there was a lot of coaches on the staff that I was familiar with. Mm-hmm. So it was kind of one of those things where I didn't feel like it was a new team. Right. The good thing for me, it was close to home. So at that point, now all of my family, and that was one things that early on in my career, because you never know how long this thing is going to last. Right. Yeah. I wanted to play East because I wanted my family to be able to see this. My little cousins, my little brothers and sisters, and just aunts and uncles. I wanted all of them to be able to see, hey, KG made it, like Kevin made it, but being out West, it's tough, sometimes, for family to get out West, flights, the drive is kind of long. So I had a lot of support from family members when I was out West, but when I came to Hamilton, I mean, it was bus loads. They would bring buses to that Hamilton game, and
that's awesome.
It was awesome. It was great, You said one other thing that jumps out to me is you said that I played in Hamilton, so I kind of knew what I was getting myself into. Yeah, but I had never played on the home side.
That's
so
right.
What happened is I got used to the fans cheering for me instead of talking crazy smack towards me with all the last names. I mean, Hamilton fans are probably one of the best at one-liners.
Oh God, yeah.
Against the opposing teams, like some of the. I mean, it was one of those things where you would never come out the dugout. Remember, we were at Ireland Stadium with the dugouts. There. You hide in the dugout because you did not want the fans to see your last name and then talk stuff.
Oh, yeah. And they were close. They're
the best. The Hamilton fans are the best.
Yeah.
Oh, it's and when your time in Hamilton really at that point was a bit of a resurgence too, right? That's when which was. Hitch and I got ceremoniously dumped there in 2007, and then I don't think they won and this is not because we were gone, but they didn't win too many games leading up to you rolling into town, and then you guys caught fire. And Stalla was a great receiver for you, another local hometown kid.
Yeah.
Arlen Bruce. Like it reminded me a little bit of when Danny and Darren came and Ronnie came to Hamilton, leaving Edmonton back in 98, right? That was kind of like, you just need a little spark. We had some of the tools, but we just didn't have the conductor, right? And then the same thing I feel happened to you guys. And then did you get caught up in the Guelph and the McMaster and all that stuff when you got all that too? So you did all that, but never got the new stadium. Like you
never got the new stadium. Yeah. So no. I played against Hamilton at Guelph. That was Henry was there at that time.
That's
so
right.
Henry got caught up into that when we got the swap, the Calgary Hamilton.
That's
swap.
right.
Yeah. So I actually played. Yeah.
You've got a history, unlike probably anybody, in terms of exactly what it's like to play on the vast 90% of the teams. You've experienced. I always say, Rob and I had great careers and long careers, and I spread mine between Hamilton and Toronto. Rob was really all Hamilton except for 3 games at Edmonton. I wish I had a chance to go out west. You were happy to come east. But for me, I'm like, I feel like I missed something by not playing out west. So what was it like to play almost everywhere? That must have been pretty cool.
It is. It was cool, and one aspect that my family my kids got to be able to experience.
That's nice.
That. So that was nice. And this is like bigger than football type thing. My kids got to basically experience literally all of Canada, from Montreal to Vancouver, which is cool, which some, like you said, some adults don't ever get a chance to do something like that in their own country. So being that my kids were able to do that was awesome. And then I think you meet different people, you experience the different cultures. It was great because I got a chance to see all of it. And live in these cities, and like you said, it's awesome when you go back and you look at it. At the time when you're doing it, you're so focused on playing and winning and all that kind of stuff. You sometimes don't get to enjoy it. But looking back on it, it's like, man, like I did something that like individuals will probably a lot of people will never experience.
No,
and it was awesome. From the fans from out west, I will say that the one thing that I take away from like the experience of the West and the East would be just the different cultures. The East is a little bit faster than the West. And I'm talking about just the cities and the culture and the movement. The West is a little bit more laid back. It's kind of like, we'll get to it when we get to it. And East is like, I'm going to get it. I got to get it. It's always on the go kind of thing. And that's from the cities that I lived in, playing with the organizations. For the most part, all the organizations, because they're all built on competitiveness and trying to get to the Grey Cup and win and be successful. There are all the organizations, I think, for the most part, the agenda was the same. It was like, hey, let's do what we need to do in order to get guys in here to win and satisfy the consumer, which is the fans.
Yeah. Well, staying on that theme of the CFL, I know you're a busy guy coaching, and we're talking with Kevin Glenn, 18-year vet, future Hall of Famer. All that stuff is going to be hopefully coming up pretty soon. It'll be great for you. But and there's my dog in the background barking, so that's perfect. But we're staying on that theme. Have you had a chance to watch? I know there's a lot of games on down in the U.S. now. Like, do you keep up with the guys? And
yes, I do. I keep up with the guys. I keep up with the teams. G-Roy and Jones was here not too long ago, probably in April.
Yeah,
doing a workout here in Detroit. I was with them, hanging out with them. I talked to Dimwitty a lot. Me and RP, we text, Instagram, all that, social media stuff. So I definitely keep in touch. There's a couple individuals, the Ben Holmes quarterback that's in Toronto. I did some training and stuff with him. When he comes this way, he's from Buffalo, but he comes to Michigan a little bit. When he comes here, I do some training and stuff with him. So there's a lot of guys that I keep in touch with, and I still watch. That the other day, that overtime quarterback draw, and I talked to in Ottawa with Dice and Kahari and all those guys. I still talk to those guys. Talk to Travis Moore all the time. But that quarterback draw, that's what I was thinking about that the other day. I'm like, man, this is like crazy. Like, no lead is safe. Like that slogan could stay with the CFL forever.
Yeah.
Because that's what that game is about. And people, and that's what makes it so exciting.
And people don't get it. We're just talking about before you came on. I said, I've seen 21 points scored in 3 minutes. And Ottawa was 3 minutes and 20 seconds. They scored 16 points. And Winnipeg was just probably like, what just happened, right? What just happened?
Exactly.
But
what just happened?
But
that's kind of like that kind of stuff doesn't happen in the NFL.
No,
it doesn't. It just doesn't happen.
No.
But for it to be able to happen in the CFL, it's awesome for a fan to sit there and watch that. Like when you pay money to see that, it's like it was worth it.
I get some guys saying I like to turn the CFL game on with 8 minutes to go in the game. Then I'll know, and I'm not going to know who's going to win. But
right.
what I was saying earlier too is with one of our guests before is when we came in the league in '95, Mike and I, we had a lot of turnover of coaches, like the old school coaches, Don Southern, Ronnie Lancaster, all the guys which were the old school guys in the turnover. And what I love to see now, and I guess because I'm 53 or turning 53 this year, is the Oshas, the Kyle Walters, the Dimwitties, the Dickinsons of the world. They're all guys that we played against for all these years, and now they're the guys that are going to be turning over for the next 20 years. And it's so nice to see players that have succeeded, and some that I could always say there's always great players that aren't good coaches, but all these guys that are in positions now that are in head coaches or in assistant coach jobs, they're awesome, and it's so nice to see everybody in that position. Like Mike and I, we always said, would it be great if we could get in and coach, but I don't know.
I never said that.
Yes, you did. I always thought about it. But then it's like, but back in the day, it kind of turned me off because Don Southern and those coaches in there, they're in there for 15 hours a day. You don't need to do that anymore, right? You don't need to do that. Right. But I mean, it's you got to set it. And but anyways, I just my point is, it's just I love seeing the turnover now of the young guys that we played against, that we're all getting older, that are all these head coaches and GMs in the league. So real nice to see.
Yeah. And what's your philosophy, Kevin? Back to coaching. So you're coaching at your high school, or at the high school in Detroit. What is your philosophy? What did you learn from? What coaches did you learn from? Whether it was Pop Warner all the way through all your years in the CFL. What do you take? Or you just do it the way that you've just learned over the years, or a combination? What's your approach?
I mean, I take a little bit of everything, and that's the good part of me being in so many different organizations. I've so many different coaches, so many different schemes, concepts, all that kind of stuff. So I kind of take all of it and kind of merge it together to what I'm comfortable with, and what what guys can do at this level at high school. And sometimes individuals think, oh, we're in high school, you can't do this and do that. Well, yeah, right. Like just for example. And nobody from probably in our league is going to listen to this, but like I took away from Doug Barry when we were in Winnipeg together, and he brought this from Montreal. They use numbers as far as their route tree was concerned, but you always use numbers, but that's how the plays were called, and you read left to right, so at the end of the day, it was easier. It let the guys play fast. It was less thinking. So I do a lot of that here, with our high school guys here. It's good because I also have Andre Rison as our offensive coordinator.
Oh, for real?
An assistant coach, right? So Rison, him being a professional and him being in this kind of environment too, it's good to be able to throw ideas off of each other for us to, to get the guys to be successful. But that's one of my biggest offense and defensively is to try to confuse the opponent. So we do a lot of formations, a lot of different looks on defense, blitzes, to where we just want to confuse the opponent at the end of the day. But,
sorry, Kat, I was going to say, is that from, do you think you have a leg up because you are taking some version of the CFL game and implementing it in the NFL style game, the American game? Are you able to adapt where people are like, I've never seen that before. What the heck is Kevin doing?
Yeah, I think so. I think one thing is that we use up in the CFL, we use the running back as far in pass routes a lot more than they do down here in the South, in the U.S. And so when you do that, it's like, oh man, what am I doing? He's releasing, he's free releasing the back, but he's not necessarily covered by anybody. So now the defense has to get used to, okay, now I got to cover you with my middle linebacker, if you have a running quarterback, that's one less guy in the box that you have to worry about as far as running with your running quarterback. So there's a lot of things that we do to try to confuse, like I said, to confuse the defense of the opponent, but bringing that little sprinkle of, hey, we're bringing this little sprinkle from the CFL down to the U.S.
Just to make them think, right? Just make the
just
defense
to make them think.
Yeah.
Yep, it's just to make them think. So that's why individuals, all this RPO, this run pass option stuff. I'm like, that was built in the CFL.
Oh, I know.
I remember when I got to the CFL in 2001, I was watching film on that from previous years. Yeah. And they didn't start doing this in the U.S. until probably mid 2000s. Yeah. So and everybody thinks, oh, the run pass option that came from the CFL.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So the CFL, it's a game, like I said, it's a game that a lot of times makes you think on the run because it's so fast paced and everybody's moving. But at the end of the day, it helps you. Gain a lot of knowledge about the sport of football.
Yeah, I was wondering too. I mean, this is probably a relevant question, but I'm thinking because you've had so long ties up here and playing up here for so long. Do you ever look and I know it's only at the high school level, but this before they get to pro, you can talk to these guys and ever show them some film on CFL and imagine telling your receivers, hey, you got a 15-yard run at the line of scrimmage. Imagine to be like, what, really? That because these guys could be up here one day, right? If they're truly, the NFL's the dream, and but reality is it's a small percentage that go, right? So I wondered if you ever do that.
Oh, all the time. Always pull up clips, and with the social media and how these guys are on social media so much, they pull up the clips and say, Coach, I seen you throw. I thought you couldn't throw. No, I
can't throw anymore, but I could.
Right. But I do now. I still get out there and I'll be like, hold on, hand me the ball. Hand me the ball. Let me show you how this is done. I'll say a cadence, and then I'll actually throw a pass. And they'll be like, okay, we know you can throw.
Yeah.
But it's crazy because I actually was texting with Corey Mace not too long ago. He's trying to connect me with the University of Windsor.
Oh, yeah.
Coach, because now I think guys can now, if guys were to leave here, there. U.S. guys out of high school go to University of Windsor. If they go there for 4 years, I think that they can now be deemed like a Canadian import when they get to the CFL.
Yeah, depending on when they've changed the rules a little bit. So, but there is some. I think you're right. You could take advantage of that.
They could take advantage of it
if those developmental type years are done at a Canadian university or college.
Yep, exactly. So I'm trying to connect with them over there at the University of Windsor to try to figure some of these things out. Because like you said, it's an opportunity that some of these guys may get a leg up on, with us being so close to Canada like that, where they could go, actually go to a Canadian university. And then at the end of the day, you see it. You see so many, because before back in the day, it was the level of competition and all that. Man, with this 7-on-7, it's like AAU basketball now.
Yeah.
All these guys are competing against each other. The same. Especially if you're a skilled athlete, you're a skilled position guy. It doesn't matter where you go.
Right.
At the end of the day, if you can play, they're gonna find you.
You're gonna be found. Yeah. There's no doubt about it. So one of the things the Cats have been doing the last couple of years is been doing what they call the alumnus of distinction. And Rob and I did it last year. We had Tim Cheatwood on, who's I don't know if he did it last week, Rob, but he's coming up. And Juwan Armour's been on, and we've had some great. And you are going to be the alumnus of distinction. Do you know the date yet when you're coming up here?
Am I supposed to tell the date?
Well, you can tell the date. I don't know the date. That's why I asked the question.
It's this Friday, the 21st.
Oh, is it? Oh, no, yes. Then we need to say the date.
Yes. It's this Friday. Yeah,
that's important.
I thought this was why all this was put together like this.
We almost forgot about it.
The two guys that don't pay attention. So,
got you. So, yeah, it's Friday. Yep, I'll be up Friday for the weekend. Yep, hanging out.
That's awesome.
Well,
it's Monday today. This is actually going out this afternoon. And the reason was to make sure that we can let everybody know that you're coming to town. I know they'll treat you good. Cats have really done a tremendous job. Bob and Scott and Matt and all the owners have done a great job. The fans will love to see you.
Yeah.
It's amazing. I always say, when in Hamilton, when you're playing, it's a tough place to play sometimes. When you die or you retire, all of a sudden you're a great hell of a player. So I know, regardless of what happened, they're going to cheer you and be happy to see you there. That's awesome.
Oh yeah, it'll be great. I'm excited. My kids are probably more excited than I am. They've been for like 2 or 3 weeks. When I told them over the summer, it's like, is it yet? Is it this Friday then? Is it this Friday then? My daughter wants to move. My daughter wants to move back to Canada.
Oh man,
she's mad that we're living here in the U.S.
Well, we've been telling all the alumnus of distinction on our show the last couple of weeks. We've been telling them, as soon as you get into town, go right into the Cat store, take whatever you want, just grab jackets, grab everything.
Give your kids everything they want.
Security will get you on the way out, but just go get it. Doesn't matter.
That's what we give you for being on our show. We just let you know. Just go there. Just say that Matt Affleck sent you.
Yeah.
Take whatever you want. Yeah.
I got you.
Don't worry about it.
Do that.
Yeah, do that.
That's awesome. Well, we're looking forward to it. Hopefully we'll be able to. I'm in a golf tournament on Friday, all day, 27-holer, but I will not be at that. But are you around for the weekend, honestly?
Yeah, I'll be around. Yeah,
we'll get. I'll get your number offline here, and we'll hook up. Maybe I'd love to come and see. I'm in St. Catharines, so it took 25 minutes down the road.
Oh, okay, yeah, because we're gonna probably go up to take a little trip up to Niagara Falls and hang out a little bit over the weekend.
Coming right past me. Perfect.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, let's do it. This is awesome.
Yeah, listen, KG, we can talk forever. I mean, we even got into 18 years of CFL football and what you did for the CFL. And, we've been pretty blessed as Canadians growing up, Rob and I going, sitting at Ivor Stadium, wanting to be on that field, getting a chance to play, but then playing with and against people like yourselves that didn't grow up caring about the CFL, knowing about the CFL, and then immersing it and really making Canada your home, your temporary home, sometimes for some people, your permanent home. And I just want to thank you for everything you did for the league and for the game, because it really is built off the backs of guys like yourself that have took a chance, right? And it didn't just come here for a flyer. Spent 18 years of your life here, which is crazy. And before we go, you're not just a football player. You've always been a businessman. I know you're not just a coach, right? You were involved, if I'm not mistaken, on the Booster Juice side. You were always thinking. I never worried about you. I never worried about you because you were always thinking ahead. Yeah, Tim Hortons. So you're the one that helped Danny and Andrew get involved in Tim Hortons, correct?
I'm the one that helped Marwan.
And Marwan, yes.
So Andrew was in it before me. So I used to come up and hang out at Andrew's stores to kind of see how it was kind of operated.
Right.
And then Sove.
Yes, Dave Sove.
Yeah. So he was another one because he knew my partner that I was in it with. They played together in the CFL in Hamilton.
Oh, okay.
And that's kind of how. That's kind of how that thing kind of all spiraled up and getting involved. And and then that's when I got to Hamilton. We were owning the Tim Hortons, and that's when I got. That's when I got Marwan hooked up. I was texting with him the other day. I told him, I said, you owe me something.
He's got
you owe me a finder's fee.
20.
I know. I said, don't you owe me a finder's fee?
Yeah, he does.
He's better.
Right, he does.
He's cheap.
Yeah,
He's
cheap.
cheap.
Hockey Hall of Fame.
I know.
Oh, I won't. What he'll do? He'll just take me out to sushi or something.
Yeah.
Exactly. I always say I would go visit him every so often at that hockey hall at the Bay Street there, the Tim Hortons. He'll give me a free coffee, but he charges me for the cup and the cream. So either way, he's got me. He's got me. No doubt about it. Now, are you still involved in Tim Hortons?
So no, I didn't. I got out in 2015.
Yeah. But did you have one in Detroit at that time?
We had them. Yeah, I had two in Detroit. Two was in Detroit at the time. It was 2008. We were in there 2008 to 2015 in my life. And then it just got tough with the traveling back and forth to Canada with the family, and I didn't at that point I wasn't like finished playing.
Right.
I've thought about kind of getting back in it. That's kind of how I basically sold my shares. I was with a partner to the company, and he kept it. And then I've also, I reached out to Marwan the other day because I've been thinking about possibly getting back involved. And that was the biggest thing when I left. They said, "Hey, whenever you're ready we understand. Whenever you're ready to come back, you're to us, you're Canadian."
That's awesome.
So you're part of this. So whenever you're ready to come back, if you want to, just give us a call.
Well, so. Marwan will owe you. Just tell him to give you 2 or 3 of his stores to start.
Right, exactly.
He'll never know. He'll never even know.
That'll be the reason for me to move back to Canada.
There you go. Your daughter will be happy.
She'll be happy. Exactly.
Well, awesome. Listen, from playing across this whole country to owning Tim Hortons, there can't be much more Canadian than that.
Exactly.
You have certainly made this country a better place, made the league a better place. I'm excited that you're going to be in town. Hopefully I get the chance to see you. I'll see if I can come out to the game. If not, like I said, if you're going through Niagara Way, hit up Robbie and we can figure something out. But
gotcha.
Yeah, it's great seeing you again, man. I'm sorry I never got to catch a pass from you. That's my one regret. But
I did.
But it's all good, man.
I did.
Rob did.
I did.
Right. I knew he was going to throw that one in there.
Oh, you knew that was coming. But listen, it's great seeing from everybody here, from Rob, from David Butko's, in his parents' basement, and myself. It's great to have you on the show. Ticat fans, take a look out for Kevin Glenn this Friday at Tim Hortons Field. It's going to be awesome. Great having you on, buddy.
Appreciate for having me on the show, man.
All right, hold on there. We got to get you wrapped up before we go. But bye, everybody. Have a great week, and go Cats, go.
That's another episode of Morreale and Hitch on the Ticats Audio Network. Have a question or a comment for them? Email us at manh@ticats.ca. That's MANDH@ticats.ca.